What's good, YouTube? Carfi King here. So today, guys, I wanted to bring you my BT14 Lugamon deck, Fenriloogamon deck, whichever one you want to refer to it as. Dark Animal, Sons of Chaos. I've been in love with this deck since I first saw it. I think Balomon is such a cool design on a Digimon. I think this is probably one of the most aggressive purple decks, personally, that I've ever played outside of like the Eismon Rush deck, which was just a rendition of Lilith Mon Loop in a way. But I want to bring you guys to this version here on Dev. I do have most of the cards in real life. I'm just missing 2 Lugamons, but the reason why is because I'm not going to be able to attend the sneaks and stuff this weekend. I got life happening, so I won't be able to attend the normal sneaks I usually do. So I won't have all the cards in hand probably till next weekend, I want to say. But nonetheless, I get to bring you guys on Dev and I get to talk about it, and I also want to do another video talking about this deck and strategies versus Ace, because I really think that the Ace mechanic is a fantastic mechanic that adds another layer of competitive depth to the game. And there are plays that I'll talk about probably in this video where it's like, well, look, this is your out to this, and if you don't do it this way, then you're going to end up missing out. So we'll talk about it as we go through. But obviously the rookie we're going to go with is Balomon. Balomon is probably the foundation of the deck. And the reason why I say it's the foundation of the deck is because it's not a once per turn ability either. When you can Digivolve into a Dark Animal or Sons of Chaos trait when it's trash, you can Digivolve into that Digimon. It is not a once per turn effect. So you can, if there is a scenario where you can discard, two cards in a turn, something like that, and with resends, you can definitely Digivolve in that. And it just says when a Digimon is trashed from your hand. So if you have another ability that trashes a Digimon from your hand, then you can Digivolve into that. So it's a very versatile card, but it's definitely the foundation of the deck, and you want to really only run 4 and really on 4 because you want to be on Balomon each and every time. There is something to where you don't always want to raise Balomon, Balomon from the raising area with like something on top of it, just because if you're not set up in a certain way, you don't want to just go into Balomon and just lose your Balomon. You know what I mean? This card is, the more I've played with the deck, it's been a very, very important starter for the deck. And we really haven't said that much where your starter is actually important. This is the one deck where I feel like your starter is extremely important. Going with 2 of the BT13 Phascomons, just on deletion, draw 1, trash 1. This is just a decent rookie to play out, just to draw 1, trash 1 when it dies. A little bit of an early poke here and there if you wanted to, and then of course in turn ability, draw 1, then trash 1 card in your hand, which also can proc. It doesn't proc the Balomon, but it's a decent effect just to get some filter in if your card lives, so to speak. But really, it's just for the Dark Animal trait, and it's just a little bit of filter. Running obviously 4 copies of Lugamon. This is the main rookie of the deck. If you have an AG in your trash or hand, you can put it under to gain a memory at the start of your main phase. This ability is extremely good. You don't really care in this deck about trashing your AGs. If anything, if you don't really have any good discard targets, discard your AGs out of your hand, because as soon as as long as you make it to your main phase with Lugamon on board, you can put the AG right underneath of him from there, gain a memory, and it'll almost be like AG is on the field. So you'll have Mind Leak, Alliance, Blocker, so you'll be set up. His inheritable is really good too, because when you play something with Dark Animal or Sons of Chaos trait, you gain a memory. So this is just a base. This is the SR rookie. This is the one that you want to run 4 of. This is your main thing. And what I like about it, again, it does allow you to be flexible with your AGs, which is the tamer for the deck. And then we got 3 blocker Phascomons. Just for defense, this deck definitely is a bit aggressive and does lack on defense. So having an annoying little 2K blocker, yeah, there are things that can pop it, but like I'd rather my opponent waste certain things on popping it or take an extra step to get rid of a blocker. It's really just in there to help prevent damage on you. And plus, it's a Dark Animal card, and most of the time, if anything, you're going to be using it for Alliance purposes anyways, or you're going to Digivolve on top of it. 4 copies of Fangmon. Fangmon is such a good card. Oh my gosh. I was previously using Famon at 3, and then when I put him to 4, I really started seeing the benefit of drawing him. So Famon is your best recursion for the deck. On play, so it's just a 4 cost on play, which is not bad at all for a level 4. When attacking, you can return 1 purple Digimon card from with Dark Animal trait from your trash in your hand, then do it. So you return a card first, then you trash it. I think that's really good. Instead of trashing and then going, you get to return one and then trash 1 card in your hand. So you can trash anything. You can trash an AG. You can like grab a Lugamon, trash an AG. You can grab a Helugamon or something else, and then you can trash your Black Gatomons. It is such a good card for recursion, and it just helps you get to the pieces, even though he doesn't make the perfect stack when you're digivolving up into like Fenriloogamon and whatnot. His ability is just when attacking can be just a solid ability in itself. If it's like, look, I want to get in some chip damage here, and I just want to set up a play for next turn. So, okay, get some chip damage, knock him down to 4, grab a card you need from your trash that was sent there, and then now you have a play for next turn. And plus, Famon's in the trash now, so when I play this Famon off of like a Solugamon or a Fenriloogamon, I get the on play ability activated. It's such a good card. Then we got 4 Lugarmon. It's part of the line, just very solid. You trash one card in your hand, draw 1 card, and if AG is in your stack, you get to gain a memory. I usually don't use this ability, this when attacking ability, all that often. You can use it like, let's say you swing at something, and then you trash a card, draw a card, gain a memory, and then you go into like Helugamon or Solugamon. That's fine. And then you can do other plays. So it does help create an avenue of plays, but it does help get through your deck and gain you a memory if you have any type of like combo extension that you're trying to do. Hopefully, obviously the Lugarmon, you don't want it to die, of course, but it's just a play extender that you can utilize. But its main thing is it's inheritable, which is just the same thing as Lugamon to gain a memory when you play a Dark Animal or SOC. Black Gatomon, because it's a purple level 4 Dark Animal that has Rush. Simple, easy, 6k. 6k is a good target for the Alliance ability on Fenriloogamon, puts them up to an 18k, really strong. Helugamon. Ooh, Helugamon. Yeah, let's talk about Helugamon. Helugamon is your out to a lot of things. What you do is at the end of the turn, if he survives to the end of your turn, you delete him, draw 2, and then you can return a Lugamon. So this card recurs your Lugamon. So you can, set up your drop zone, put your 4, it's like putting a 4 into the drop zone, drawing 2 so you can see more of the cards in your deck, and then you're returning it. So you're literally adding anywhere between 2 to 3 cards to your hand with his ability. But his on deletion lets you trash up to 3 cards with Dark Animal or Sons of Chaos in your hand. Then you delete when your opponent's level 3 or lower, and then for each one trashed by the effect, it increases. So if you trash a second one, that's a level 4. You trash a third, you trash 2, that's level 5. You trash 3, you can delete a level 6. Really, what this card is that this card is your setup card. This card is like, okay, I got Black Gatomon in my hand, I got a Lugamon, I got some Fascos in hand. Let me dump these to the trash, pop something, draw 2 cards, and just have my trash set up, have me set up. So it's a really good setup card. It's a really good answer to a lot of things. Your opponent has an ace Digimon out there, they leave it out there. You can go into Helugamon, pop, maybe you pass the turn, but you pop the card, you pop the ace card, get the memory back from their overflow ability, and then you can continue your turn with the new setup that you have. Helugamon is definitely your answer, and I wanted to include 4 of him because a lot of times you're digivolving into him, and since we are using Analog Youth, we are this is one of those decks where we're going to be getting the full value out of the Analog Youth, not only putting the dark animals and stuff that we need in the trash, but also being able to, we have stacks, and our level 5 or higher stacks are going to get deleted, and then we're going to proc that, hatch an egg, and then continue on with our combos. Solargamon is the main. I consider him more or less the main attacker in a sense. He is like your main gateway into your Fenriloogamon. When you Digivolve, you can put a level 3 or lower Dark Animal SOC on the field, but if you have AG, you get to put a level 4 out. So that's the combo I'm talking about with Fangmon. Like you Digivolve into him, you got AG in the stack, you bring out a Fangmon. Fangmon's ability can add something to your hand and then trash something else. Then if you have like Balomon in your hand, then you can Digivolve, or you can use Solugarmon's ability, like when attacking, you can trash a card in your hand to gain a memory. A lot of times, what happens is that and this is the card that you really want to pay attention to and have like matchup knowledge against. Where when Digivolving you can do all that, then you decide, do I want to Digivolve into like a Fenriloogamon now, or do I want to attack and do an attack combo? Because when you attack with him and you trash a card in your hand, let's say you trash the Fenriloogamon, then you get to activate Balomon's ability, Digivolve into Fenriloogamon. Fenriloogamon will play out the 3 dark animals, and then your once per turn ability will go off, and then you'll restand with Solugamon. Right now, here's the thing: in my testing, playing against like the new green stuff, Bloomlord, Rosemon, whatever it is, I did that. But then he went in. But after all of my effects resolved, and when I got Fenriloogamon to the field, he unsuspended the. He went blast into Lilymon, and then the blast ace Lilymon tapped down my Fenriloogamon. So even though I still got my attack off, for 2 checks, alliance, and all that other stuff, I lost out on 2 more attacks because I didn't pay attention to that. Instead, what I should have done was Digivolve into Solugamon, call the card, then Digivolve into Fenriloogamon, because I would have kept turn because of his ability. Swung with Fenriloogamon, used that to pop the level 4 to restand. So I would have sacrificed an extra attack on my turn. So instead of 3 attacks by him, I would have only had 2 attacks by Fenriloogamon. But I would have gotten the ace card. I would have gotten the potential blast Digivolve card off the board, and then I would have been in a much better position rather than having my card tapped down, losing on my attack, and then now figuring out what do I need to do because my Fenriloogamon was tapped down. So it's just strategies like that when you got to know like what ace cards you're playing, and then how do you want to do your Solugamon turn, how do you want to do your Hellugamon turn, and like kind of like things like that. You really got to kind of think about your matchup, what's your opponents on the floor, because they can be outs, but you got to just play to your outs, and sometimes the safer play is the better play. 2 Chimera, because we're bringing out level 4s from the trash, and then we alliance them, and then to pump up Fenriloogamon, and then Chimeramon can just DNA Digivolve to the 2 level 4s and then swing for game. That's effectively what he's for. Plus, he can get some nice inheritables too, like Automon's Retaliation or this stuff like that. 4 copies of Fenriloogamon. Fenriloogamon is the boss card of the deck. Really cool, like wolf dog dude. So he plays level 4 or lower when he plays, but if you have AG in the stack, he gets to play add 2 to the number, so he can bring out 3 dark animals or Sons of Chaos from the trash. Very, very strong ability. His when attacking, you delete opponent's level 3 or lower Digimon, unsuspend them, but for each of your Digimon, you can add 1 to the maximum number. So, which is the thing that I was talking about, is that he's able to bring out up to 3 Digimon, and with 3 Digimon on the board, he can pop a level 6, right? 4 Digimon, even more, whatever else, right? But that's the thing. It's like he's also one of your outs. But his unsuspend for himself does rely on your opponent having a Digimon on board. If they don't have a Digimon on board, then you're probably limited to 2 attacks if you combo it with the Solugamon. So just make sure that you understand and recognize that. But the condition for your turn, when your turn becomes your opponent's turn, is having 3 or more memory. Once your opponent has 3 memory, it's their turn. That's just ridiculous. It's fantastic. It's literally like you get an extra 2 memory to work with. Just a fantastic card overall. For Miss Memory Boost, because you know this deck you want to get stuff into the trash and you want to abuse that memory because you know you have a lot of combo plays, a lot of digivolving plays, and so you want to make sure that you can use have enough memory to get up there to get your combos off. This deck definitely OTKs for sure. I think that's one of the main things that people like about this deck, and one, it's easy to build. Two, this deck is just a big, you know, can just OTK out of nowhere. I've taken out 7 security and swung for game in a turn. It's ridiculous. But yeah, for Miss Memory Boost, it's just one of the better cards to play in this deck for memory purposes and things like that. 3 copies of the Training Boost. Now, some people play 4 copies. I play 3 copies because while it is nice, there's a lot of people playing cards like Balomon in the format, which stop you from reducing the Digivolution cost of your Digimon, and then the card just kind of just sits there dead. It is a card, it's a good search card and things like that, but what I kind of value a little bit more is the benefit of Memory Boost and Analog Youth, and you guys know what Analog Youth does. The benefit of Miss Memory Boost and Analog Youth, getting rid of cards in my deck, continuously setting up my drop zone, and then being able to go from there. Memory Boost is a much more reliable source of memory efficiency than Wisdom Training is nowadays, because you're not going to see a lot of people playing the memory blockers and things like that. So that's kind of where I am about with these ratios right here. And 2 Rouse Barrage, because we got 4 Miss Memory Boosts, we mill it, then we do that. Plus, it's just a decent card, just a decent out to pop their highest card. So if they have like a single stack that's just a problematic card and you need to play a tempo turn just to knock it out, then that's what you need to do. For AG Nagasumi, oh yeah, when you mill it, you get the thing that's really good. And then for AG, he's the tamer of the deck. Very good tamer. I really like his tamer. I pulled the altar and it is fantastic. But basically what he does is his inheritable, I'm starting with the inheritable. He does give Alliance and Blocker, which is amazing because then it adds to your Fenriloogamon play because it's like, hey, look, I'm not going to be able to kill my opponent this turn, but I can leave Fenriloogamon out here as a 12k blocker right now and prevent like some low swinging damage and things like that. Or you can put it under one of your other, Dark Animal, Sons of Chaos, or whoever it is, and they can have blockers. So you can turn like a non-blocker Fastcomon into a blocker. You could turn a Lugamon, you could turn a Fangmon into a blocker. So it's just a solid card overall. And then if your opponent has a Digimon at the start of your main phase, you gain a memory, which is good. And obviously the Mind Link is just putting him under a Dark Animal or SOC trait. And then at the end of the turn, you can actually at the end of all turns, you can play an AG from the card, which is considered playing the tamer. So I know that there's some interactions when it comes to playing tamers that can be utilized. But that's the deck profile, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Fenriloogamon is definitely a very fun Digimon to use, a very fun deck to play with. Pretty easy to build right out of BT14. The one thing I found out with this deck is that sometimes you have too many. You may end up kind of like bricking and seeing too many non-Digimon cards, which is one of the bigger reasons why I have Rouse Barrage at 2, the Wisdom Training at 3, because they're not cards that put things into my drop zone. And I added in a few more, had some more rookies here and a Chimeramons up, just because I need to see more in a given game. I want to see a little bit more Digimon, and these other setup cards can come, but I want to have a better ratio of Digimon to set up. But that's it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.